From the Bramble Jam Podcast Network studios in Greenville, South Carolina, it's the Disc List with Brandon and Dan. It's the Disc List with Brandon and Dan. It's the Disc List with Brandon and Dan.
And Chad.
It's the Disc List.
Woo!
With Brandon and Dan. It's the Disc List with Brandon and Dan.
And Chad.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It was
KC
like
and the Moneymakers not their best today.
No.
There was somebody in there on a delay.
I'll say this. Our guest Chad was joining us singing. It was not his fault. It was completely on the band.
The Moneymakers were very confused there.
It was not your fault, Chad.
That's
You
right.
were perfect.
Chad,
I sing your theme song all day, all night around. My neighbors think I'm crazy. I hum it, I whistle it, walking up and down the street. I love it.
It's quite a ditty, Chad. I will say this. We have somehow, Chad from the Christmas Cousins podcast, world famous Christmas Cousins podcast.
World famous.
We've somehow booked him on Deck the Hallmark and on the Disc List. And I don't know what favor he owed us. But Chad, how'd we get you twice? Man?
Well, you guys have those compromising photos of me that someone took in Greenville. So whatever you say, I'm in.
I forgot about the compromising photos.
Yes.
That's not my department. Blackmail is your?
That's all brand.
I'll say
They call him Captain
this.
Blackmail.
I will say I didn't go into the picture situation planning on blackmail.
Right.
But when you do what you did,
What you do and you did. That's
you
right.
can't expect me not to take pictures.
Listen, if word gets out that my world famous hot cocoa bar is nothing more than Swiss Miss, I'm done. I'm done, guys.
Yeah.
My whole reputation.
That's exactly
right.
Let's not forget Who, What, When. That was an iconic episode of Who, What, When.
Yeah,
Also.
you're also
The
guest on
Founding
Who,
Fathers.
What, When.
South Carolina Public Radio.
Founding Fathers is an all-timer episode.
All-time episode.
That's true.
People loved it.
I'm wearing my hip pack right now as we speak.
Very good.
Good for you. I trust
Chad, welcome to the Disc List. This is a very exciting episode because I'm sure you're bringing something Christmas related.
you. For sure, your Christmas Cousins podcast. Yeah.
There may be some things in there. The very popular Christmas Cousins podcast, check it out, Christmas Cousins pod at gmail.com if you want to email us or whatever you want to do. Oh,
He was gonna give a
Instagram.
That was
website
an
for sure.
interesting
I thought he was going to give a website for
Yeah.
all the money in the world. I was like, he's going to say ChristmasCousins.com or ChristmasCousinsPodcast.com.
You
And
can check
he
out
went
our
with
podcast
Email. He
by
went with
emailing
He
us.
went with electronic mail first.
That's the only way.
Halfway through, I realized I don't know that we have a website. So who knows? Check me out on the Bramble Jan. Every show they have, I'm on
right.
it. So.
There you go.
That's right.
Today is exciting on the Disc List. Every week, a guest brings a list, something that they're passionate about. They bring a top 10 list. Dan, you and I get to make some changes to it to try to make the perfect list. At the end of the day, though, you have the say of whose list is the best.
And it's virtually always mine.
It is virtually always. Dan, we'll see what happens today because we're talking something I'm not really all that passionate about. Movie soundtracks. Movie soundtracks. Now, what we're not talking about here is scores. We're
Not doing
not
the score.
talking about top 10 John Williams albums. What we're talking about is movie soundtracks.
Talk about a Disc List.
Music that makes up a movie. It really brings it home.
The record, the needle drops. Come on.
The needle drops. Why did you pick this? Of all the things you could have talked about, hot chocolate brands, whatever it could have been, you went with movie soundtracks. Why movie
Thank
soundtracks?
God you didn't do hot chocolate brands.
I would have been really passionate about that.
That's coming up in December on the Disc List. Check
Yes.
that out, everyone. On December, we have that coming up.
That's
yeah.
Write that
You got
down.
a good email to give the people.
I do, yeah. I'll just give my post office box address for you all. That'll be my next plug. I'm great at plugging. So here's the thing with soundtracks. See, I don't love movies as much as I love music.
Okay.
So if you had one without the other, I wouldn't enjoy it as much. For me, I enjoy the music that underlies the story as much as I do the story itself. So it's very important. My problem was I was trying to think, what makes a great soundtrack? Do I like the collective group of songs?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it maybe how they would be individually? Is it the impact on the movie? Is it the impact on the collective consciousness, right? Or just the emotional language as we're watching the movie. So I was trying to see what is it. So maybe some encompass all of it, maybe some encompass a little bit. So what makes a great soundtrack varies from soundtrack to soundtrack. So that's what we're here to discuss.
Okay. All right.
He
Really
seems
great
really
setup.
serious about this.
He is very
Brandon.
serious, as I know Chad to be. We're going to start with number, I think 10 is a good place to start
That's
on the
a
top
great
10
place
list.
to start. Yeah.
Number 10, movie soundtracks. Chad, what do you got?
This one is such a classic. It was hard to even put at number 10. You guys are a little bit younger. Maybe you haven't even seen it. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay.
A classic American teen coming of age movie.
Coming
It's
of age
really
movies almost should have the best soundtracks.
Yeah, you would think so.
Right?
You'll see a number of them on my list. The Buildings Roman style, where we're talking about just not music here, but almost existentialism. We're talking about teens all of a sudden thrust with all this freedom. They don't know who to trust, what kind of institutions, and the music here plays so beautifully along with it that it's become iconic in and of itself. People know the soundtrack as much as they know the actual movie, I think.
Give me some. Do you have a list of some of the standout songs for you on this one by chance?
I do, but I have to pull that up. So give me one second.
Check your email. And what is that email again?
That would be anyone who wants to reach out to us. You know what? You could check our Instagram, Christmas Cousins Pod. That's fun.
This that you did, you nailed that. This has a lot of like Sammy Hagar's on this list. Don Henley's on this list. You got some big like of the era. Your David Palmer, which I didn't know. I mean, like, did he do "Addicted to Love" or is that Robert Palmer? David Palmer.
That's Robert.
Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah. But this has "Somebody's Baby" by Jackson Browne.
Yeah.
We got the beat. Now, moving in stereo. Don't forget, this is the iconic movie with so many scenes that we know about. There's that Phoebe Cates scene where she's getting out of the swimming pool. Now, that's known because that's been parodied and done in movies throughout the generations. Hence,
correct.
So that's going while moving in stereo is playing. Somebody's Baby is going on while the I forget the girl's name, but she's having this whole existential crisis of this coming of age of her own sexuality and freedom.
What does Spicoli have playing with him normally? Like I've seen this. Brain, have you seen this movie?
I've never seen this movie. Okay. My parents wouldn't let me, and I live by their rules to this day.
Well, the movie came out a decade before you were born. It came out around when I was born. I have seen it. I used to do another podcast called A Film and a Movie. Yeah. It did come up there. I have seen it. It is a classic movie. I think the soundtrack's probably more near and dear to your era than mine still, but the hits speak for themselves. If you look at this track list, it's a who's who of who was popular in music at the time.
Oh, yeah, there's Zeppelin in there. And when you talk about Jeff Spicoli, first of all, I'm not a huge Jeff Spicoli fan. As someone who surfs, I have been trying to overcome that stereotype of Jeff Spicoli my entire life. So I almost don't want to talk about it because people have all these preconceived notions that I, too, would be like Spicoli. I only want to be like Spicoli. I haven't achieved that level of self-actualization.
If it wasn't for your shirt, I would have had no idea that you surf. But your shirt today has surfboards on it.
It's true.
So
it might,
that was the giveaway for us.
The fun part of me with Spicoli, aside from the fact that it is an out of this world great performance, is to know who Sean Penn is now and watch him play Jeff Spicoli. Like that is what makes that fun. Is when I watched this movie for the first time, he had already been in Mystic River. You know, he'd already been in I Am Sam. He'd already been in Milk. Like he'd already been all these movies where he's, really like doing some very serious work.
Right.
And to see kind of this is his big, start is crazy.
Yeah. And if you watch it early on, you don't realize Jeff Spicoli is going to grow up to be a great actor. He seems like just a burnout, but he changes his name to Sean Penn and becomes really one of the actors of the generation.
Well, I think that was the key. Sometimes you got to have a marketable name.
That's right.
So I think that's
Jeff Spicoli
definitely a part of it.
For sure.
No, it's not.
So, Brandon, you don't have a lot here.
I don't have a lot here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But I'm sure I will at some point.
I'm sure you
feel
will
confident
too.
that I will have seen at least one movie on the list
at some point. So whenever I think of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I think of a movie that is more in my era that I like the soundtrack to more than this movie. And so that's how I compare it is you tell me Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and there's a film, a Richard Linklater film that I love the soundtrack to. And I think should be on this list.
Are you holding on to it before just like maybe you'll use it?
It's Dazed and Confused is the name of the film. And so for me, that's a good sign to see that that is your reaction. But
interesting.
For me, that's the movie in this vein. I know these are different movies, but that's the movie in this vein that I want to see on this list. So, I don't mind this being here. There are a lot of good movie soundtracks on here. One thing you could almost rank Martin Scorsese's movie soundtracks because of the needle drops that he uses in his movies. And so in my head, a lot swimming around at 10, and this wasn't it. But it has definitely got some heavy hitters on it. I can't argue with that.
You and I are both also thinking we're Doggy Go Home.
Doggy Go Home is going to be Doggy Go Home's going to be one.
If Doggy Go Home isn't on top
or two,
yes,
could be two, but it probably is.
So you keep that in mind as well.
Sure.
I don't know if it's too late to change.
That's some good foreshadowing to the list coming up, Dan.
Wow.
Maybe,
I'm doing my best here.
yeah, I hope everybody stays tuned through these commercial breaks, everybody.
Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
If we
But
do
we're-
after every one, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah. Number 9.
Yeah,
What do
really.
we got?
Number
Chad?
9.
Number 9. Now, this one is going to be a shocker to you, and maybe you've never seen the movie. Maybe you have preconceived notions about this. Private Parts, the movie, the
Howard Stern
autobiographical
movie?
movie by Howard Stern. Yes.
Huh.
Now,
I'm
bear
going to
with
look
me.
this one up. I got to be honest with you.
So you guys grew up in the South, so you weren't as exposed to Howard Stern maybe as
Exposed.
someone.
I see what you did there.
Nice.
It's now remember, I'm in North Carolina now, and I know you hear my Southern accent.
Yeah,
You guys
for sure.
thought I was born and bred in the South, but I'm from up north, from Jersey, and Howard Stern is part of the soundtrack of your youth growing up,
Correct.
especially in the '90s. So what you don't understand, people think of him as this bawdy and salacious shock jock, but he's not. He's a staunch defender of free speech, a staunch defender of LGBTQ. He satirizes not only the world, but the very institutions that were there to hold him back. So we're talking very much the hero's journey, like Joseph Campbell, so to speak, where he has to leave home. Yeah, I'm going there because he has to leave home. He has to get into his initiation. He returns back to New York triumphant. And this movie perfectly captures that. It's the sonic rebellion to his journey, everybody. So have either of you seen this movie?
No.
Have you ever heard his show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I know
I have.
Brian has on your show.
Brian
And by
is
the
a
way,
big fan, a big Stern guy. It used to be anyway.
Big Stern
I
head.
know that Stern used to be full shock jock and went to a more like he asked the hard hitting questions, and it was quite a change. And then kind of basically started what we know now as Sirius XM Radio. He didn't start the channel, but when he was acquired there, I know enough about him to get myself in trouble. And you know, there's that. And I do know this movie was pretty well reviewed at the time, but I was way too young to see this movie, which down south, you know, this guy's pretty much the Antichrist. I mean, literally in the early 90s, Howard, did you ever hear about it? Like Howard Stern was only talked about as being like a godless heathen that you should never have anything to do with. And in retrospect now, I do think you're probably not wrong about how he is right now. You know, as far as someone that champions a lot of really good causes. But I don't know enough to, like I said, I don't know enough.
Right. And he always has, those just weren't the headlines he would get. But this isn't a referendum on Howard Stern. This is the soundtrack to Private
Tell me
Parts.
about the soundtrack.
So this is great. So this spans decades. So we have songs from rock, spans decades and genres. We have rock. We've got AC/DC. We've got 90s songs. We've got Green Day and Porno for Pyro. We have Rob Zombie doing an original with him. We've got a rare Beatles song. You ever hear Piggies by the Beatles?
Yeah, that is
amazing
a deep
song.
cut.
It is. I don't know if it's about Animal Farm or what. I was listening to it trying to
Smoke on
figure it
the
out.
Water is on here.
Yeah, it's a fantastic standalone soundtrack, but it really mirrors the emotional arc of the film as his journey and he's coming up through the ranks.
Okay.
The songs go with it. So it really just kind of amplifies the story's beats. So it goes perfectly with it. It's a lot of fun. And again, Ozzy Osbourne's in it. Rest in peace. So it's just a fantastic soundtrack. And it's a great one. And for those of you who not only had some preconceived notions about Howard Stern, also about Brian. I got to meet him and I had a great time with him. I'm not telling him to kick rocks. So
Wow.
yeah.
A hot
He's a
take
good
coming
guy.
in on Brian.
He's a
Most
good
people
guy.
meet him are like, man, you guys really held back.
Really.
By the
Yeah.
way, for the people out there, the Brian heads out there, Brian is making his triumphant
Return to the after
diss
one
list,
of the worst diss lists
which
of all
actually,
time.
if you are new to the diss list and you didn't go back to Deck the Hallmark, I don't think that episode has hit this feed.
That's right.
So this will be his debut. It's coming out
Debut.
here soon. I don't
Wow.
like Howard Stern.
Or Brian.
or Brian.
I like Brian more than Howard Stern, but not by much.
Right.
Howard Stern, I've listened to a good bit of Stern, and I think that he gets a ton of love for his interview skills that I think are just meh. And I don't like the fact that now it seems as if I'm being gaslit into making me forget that he was a shock jock. Like it just,
Yeah.
I like this like whole, like, I get this like holier than thou feeling when I listen to Stern talk now. And it's just like, dude, you did some really, like, I don't care. Like the thing that you're saying now, that's nice,
Sure.
fine, whatever. You did some real icky stuff for a long time. And
Yes.
it's like they're like trying to make like me think that he's always, and it's just not. So I don't like Stern. I think he's overrated as an interviewer, and I'm not a fan of his work. And so
Brand's not into redemption.
It's
Apparently.
I am into
redemption.
no
reconciliation. No
You know
redemption
what?
from Brand.
I stand by it. I'm out. I'm out on Stern. I'm out on Private.
Okay.
Eye.
What about the soundtrack?
Sounds
there's
nice.
Clearly some great songs.
Sounds nice.
Once again, I'm at a loss here because I thought I would have seen every movie on this list without question.
Right.
There's so many iconic soundtracks that this is a surprise. And you putting it at 9 shows me that it's clearly like a personal pick for you. And so I'm not mad at that. I do think my opinion on Howard Stern is that he has a decade of stuff that he should apologize for every day and continue to show that he's better than that now. He does end up getting stories from people that other people don't get. So I don't, as an interviewer, I can hem and haw and agree with some of your points, but there are routinely stories that I will see on reels that I'm like, how did he, and I don't know if it's because his reputation precedes him or what, but he ends up getting a good interview. Whether he gives one is different, but he pulls stuff out that you don't hear other places. And so I'll give him props there. I've never seen this film. That makes this really hard for me to rank and probably an easy contender for me to get rid of just because I've not seen the movie. And what I don't know will hurt me, apparently.
Okay.
It's an Ivan Reitman film, by the way, and Betty Thomas directed. So it's not like a joke of a film. It's actually really good.
Yeah,
so,
it got a lot of great reviews. No, I think that's more than fair, Chad. More than fair. Are we ready for 7?
97.
Number 8, actually.
8 even.
We are.
8
But we are ready for 7.
We are ready for 7, but let's do 8 first.
Next up, I believe, number 8 is, of course, this is iconic as it gets. Saturday Night Fever.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. How could it not make the list? Yeah. Now, here's where I had the problem again, because is it a personal favorite? Do I turn disco on when I'm at home? No, of course, I generally don't. Sometimes I might. But if I'm at a wedding or a bar mitzvah or a prom, which I haven't been to in quite a while, at the roller rink, this is the soundtrack that's playing, and it transcends the movie itself. There's, first of all, 40 million copies sold. So talk about the cultural zeitgeist, how that is, right? They're staying alive. Night Fever, More Than a Woman. You can't hear these songs and extricate them from the movie itself and vice versa. So it's that iconic. And it's basically what they're doing here. If you remember the movie at all, they have these mundane lives. They're stuck in Brooklyn. There's nothing going on, no future, no education. They're trapped. The music for them helps them transcend life. It's not an escape, but it helps them get a kind of self-actualization going as they're going through their day-to-day life. You take the music out and their lives are terrible. It's really sad. So you can't have a soundtrack without Saturday Night Fever. It's almost the soundtrack, except maybe the next one coming up when we think of movie soundtracks.
I think this is absolutely a top 10 soundtrack. This movie doesn't do anything for me, but it is iconic. So iconic that John Travolta dressed up as Santa and utilized the soundtrack of this movie to create a Capital One commercial 30 or 40 years after the release of the movie.
And we're all better for it.
I mean, this is...
With better rates, at least.
This is a classic soundtrack that I bet even if you've not seen the movie, if I told you Saturday Night Fever and you're like, I've not seen the movie, you could tell me who the band that was on the soundtrack.
I have not seen the movie. I have heard this soundtrack many times, actually. I fell in love with disco as a young lad.
Oh my God. Again with Brand's disco story.
Okay, I don't want to hear
Is this the disco list? Is that what we're doing now?
It's the disco list.
I don't want to hear you make a sound when I share my love of disco.
Oh, you're being serious.
Yes.
No, of course.
No, I fell in love with disco at a young age because of a movie called The Extremely Goofy Movie, which has an amazing soundtrack. All of it is disco because Goofy goes to college to be closer to Max, but he went to college in the 70s naturally, and so he just kind of shows up like it's the 70s, and the whole soundtrack is inspired by that and is disco. And I, as a kid, was like, "What is this? What is this wonderful sound?" And I've been in love with disco ever since. And so I have heard this soundtrack, which is. If there was no disco, I'll just say this: if there was no disco on this list, I probably would have added an Extremely Goofy Movie because it's an amazing soundtrack of disco music. This is a better disco album as a whole.
Trying to win,
and so
I'm gonna go with Extremely Goofy Movie.
Brother, you haven't seen the soundtrack. It's bop after bop. But this is a great pick. Great pick.
Yeah, you got to have this on the list. No question about it.
You have to.
Bee
You have
Gees,
to.
man.
And I don't love the movie, but the soundtrack, I don't love the soundtrack, but I had to put it on here. Now, this is the best segue ever, Brand. I love this. Number 7 is extremely goofy movie. No, I'm kidding.
I can't believe it.
Double dose of disco.
Man, that would have been impressive.
Yes,
That would have been. What is number 7? Chad?
Number 7, this is along the same vein as Saturday Night Fever. You can't think movie soundtrack without it. Even if you don't know the movie, you know every song on it. Grease. Beautiful. Grease is the word, my friends. 15 times platinum. We all know it. All generations know it. Your grandparents know it. Your kids may know it. It's ritualized in American pop culture, right? There's Grease Lightning. There's Summer Nights. You're the one that I want. So, yeah. How about It's So Summer Nights?
I mean, come on.
Right?
Wait, can you give it to me one more time?
Yeah,
Chad.
there you ready. Those summer nights.
Yeah.
And if people
Man,
want the whole
come on.
track, how can they email you?
That's right. You can write me P.O. Box.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So this is for me. If you watch the movie and you watch the soundtrack, and if we're familiar, if we want to get philosophical for a moment, everybody's kind of trapped in their own costumes, right? They're only separated because they're dressing separately. They don't understand. It's like kind of like Plato's cave, but with hair gel and different choreography, because they don't see beyond what's outside of the cave. This soundtrack frees them. The music frees them. The choreography. So throughout the movie, whatever
Schrodinger's
song is
hairspray,
playing,
if you will.
there you go.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're alive or wearing leather jackets. That's it.
right, yeah.
So until we lift the box. So that's what the beauty of the movie. This music frees them. It's part of it. It's another character in the movie. Everybody who's listening knows this soundtrack. So how could it not be on the list?
Mm-hmm. Brand's never seen Grease.
I've never
You need
seen
to know
Grease,
that right
but
now.
obviously
Really?
I've heard the music.
Yes.
But my
Yes.
understanding, Chad, was that it was like more of a musical.
Yeah, here's my issue here is that
Interesting.
if
Yeah.
musicals are included, that's an original. Well, I guess the Broadway would be original Broadway cast recording. I in my head, I wasn't allowed to put musicals on this list
Interesting.
because
Okay.
that to me is a different category of
It's a different
best
disc list.
musicals. Like,
Bring you back for that one.
like
That's right. I'm already
Travolta
ready for
is
that.
strutting down the street, but he's not singing. You can tell by the way I knew I walk. I'm a woman's man. Like he's not
Right.
singing "Staying Alive." He's dancing to it. So that's what's tough here is that there is everything you said. There's no doubt it's iconic.
Right.
But you and I may have to have a talk about if this qualifies.
Yeah, what are your thoughts there on this argument? Because
My thoughts.
Because if musicals are in, my list is totally different.
Well, we can't retrofit rules. There were no rules that said no soundtracks that were musicals. It just said movies. This is a
Okay.
movie. This is a soundtrack.
How many more musicals on your list?
Well, I have Oklahoma. I have Jersey Boys. So maybe 10 more out of the last 5.
the rest of it is musicals.
Yeah, and Oklahoma's a banger. We all know that one. That's
Yeah,
iconic.
Oklahoma.
Every bar mitzvah. Yeah.
Oh, you said it, friend. Are there any other musicals on your list?
There are not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's up for discussion and argument,
Fascinating.
certainly. Yeah. But
Fascinating.
you know what? I didn't think of this movie as a musical. I
Yeah.
thought of this movie, but you're absolutely right. It is a musical. So it's fair.
Interesting. But I mean, listen, if we're including musicals, this would probably be near the
Yeah,
top
it's
of the
hard
list.
to go. It's hard to go to a karaoke night and not hear someone do a Grease song.
Yeah.
which is saying something.
And Brand,
Yeah, that's a good musical.
Brand has avoided it at all cost.
I
I
have
am-
not avoided
yeah.
the soundtrack.
Both karaoke and the movie.
You don't know my.
Have you
karaoke
done Grease
history.
karaoke?
No, I have not.
Okay.
but I don't appreciate you assuming that I wouldn't.
Oh,
I would.
Got it.
My goal is next year at Bramble Fest to do a Summer Nights with Brand as a duet
Oh,
during
man.
karaoke night. That's my
Chad,
goal.
Chad.
I
You
need a year
say
to
it,
work
don't,
it out.
Don't do
Don't.
it. Don't say it if you're not going to do it.
I'm doing it.
All right, I love
Brand, you have to tell Dan we have a secret text going right now. We talked about dreams and everything. It's very, Dan, I
I
want
don't
you to
get
get
to be a
jealous.
part
but
of
it's a
any
whole
of it.
thing
It's
going on.
unbelievable.
I will. We're up against it. I don't have time. I dreamed about Chad the other day. That's all that you need to know, and I let him know that.
A
I'm
whole nother
supposed to text
podcast.
people every time I dream about them.
I don't
No,
usually.
you're supposed to not text them, but Brand does.
There you go.
That's
There
how
you go.
special it is. Let's get to number 6, and then we'll take a break. Then you can kick it to break, Chad.
Oh, I love it. Good. Okay, number 6. Brand, you're going to love this one.
Okay.
And I know this isn't your favorite, but of course, the time frame of it. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
I didn't think Dan
What are
would
we
like
doing? What are we doing, Chad?
it. Let me explain myself here. So,
It's a Christmas vacation.
This is the best soundtracks of all time, is what this is. This is not the best Christmas soundtracks.
But that's
It's
interesting.
yeah,
That's
right?
interesting. Come back.
It goes in there because it's iconic. Listen, as your theme song goes, it's the Christmas list. Yeah, it's the Christmas list. So here's what it is. This movie obviously is all about the pursuit of perfection, right? And then existential disappointment because it's not as perfect as he wants. And we end with success in the end. The movie itself is
Spoiler
how we...
alert.
Yeah, sorry if you haven't seen it yet, people. The movie itself is how we experience the holidays. It's become a tradition unto itself. And the soundtrack is kind of ritualized in that we now think of the movie and the soundtrack and the holiday season all together. They fit together. Whether you love this movie or not, you're still thinking Clark Griswold when you're doing whatever. And it doesn't work with just the movie without the soundtrack. So in a world completely obsessed with holiday tradition, this music soundtrack makes this movie iconic. So some soundtracks, I get it, are cool. Some are hip. Some are emotional. This just goes perfectly with the season. It's something that annually we'll listen to, and it's chaos. It's fun. Every like mishap has its own orchestral overtone to it, like wah, 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 the tubas and things. Yeah. It's a perfect soundtrack for the movie. Everyone knows this soundtrack as well, so it's in the cultural zeitgeist. And yes, I knew it was a little bit daring to put it on here, and there are cooler ones, but I love it. I love the movie. I thought maybe I can get Brand on my team here on this one because of this season.
I think you absolutely can.
I appreciate that this has like an original like title song that's unique, that I think is pretty cool. And then like as far as Christmas movies go, they have like, what's the song that plays it's when he's watching the thing and it's a really beautiful song, you know what I'm talking about?
Up in the attic, that scene.
Yep.
Yeah, right. I don't know the name of the song, but I know this.
But it's like a deep cut Christmas song, and I appreciate that. I think it's Ray Charles or something, and it's like this just beautiful song. And as far like with Christmas movies, so much of it is the same stuff. And this one, I think, has some originality to it, which I think is really nice.
Yeah, so I think we brought on Chad from the Christmas Cousins to do a soundtrack list, so we got what we got. You know what I mean? Like we got,
got
exactly,
a surfing one.
We got who we, you know, we can't call an exterminator and expect him to tap dance. Do you know what I mean? Like
you're right.
You did exactly the thing. Really.
Let's think about this.
Could we start a business? We exterminate, but part of the bid is that we'll tap dance while we do it.
Yeah, we could. I don't think
start in the Carolinas.
We could.
Franchise.
Okay. Chad,
if you look at this list, sorry.
I don't look. Along with some of these classic, moments in this movie, which are so quotable, and then you do remember the songs with them. You also get the one-off Christmas Carol in this movie. So you're playing to Brand's hand here. I mean, like it's a movie that if we, Christmas soundtracks are always kind of riddled with songs we've heard 1,000 times before, and you could say that that's a bug or a feature. I would not consider this a top 10 soundtrack of all time, but your inclusion of it on this list is not surprising to me. And yeah, I guess I see it. I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one. It's a tough one for me, but
if you look at my list so far, yes, I see a loudmouth Yankee, a surfer, and a Christmas guy. So it's kind of ringing true. I get it. Right.
100%.
I get it. It's very autobiographical.
We're just starting to get late early, Chad. I mean, we got 5 of these left.
Yeah, that's true.
And not a single soundtrack that came to my mind aside from Saturday Night Fever has been mentioned yet. And so that's where I am.
A lot to get to. Chad, what are we going to do now?
We're going to go right to commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in 2 and 2.
It's a dance list with Brandon
and Chad.
Yeah, sit down, everybody.
A 2 and 2 Chuck Woolery reference. Get out of here, Chad.
Right.
Chad is here. His email address is
christmascousinspod@gmail.com. Somebody at least email.
We're waiting. Yeah. We will see if anybody calls. And he has brought to us the top 10 movie soundtracks of all time, which so far is number 10, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, number 9, Private Parts, number 8, Saturday Night Fever, number 7, Grease, number 6, Christmas Vacation, which takes us to number 5, which is...
Dan, you already talked about this one.
Yes.
And I know you'll be on my side for this. It's about a former basketball coach and player who's also a preacher's son. No, it's a number 5 is Dazed and Confused,
Yeah, it is.
everybody. Yeah,
Absolutely it
beautiful
is.
one.
I mean, come on. Go ahead, Chad. This is your moment. You talk about it.
Thank you. This is my moment. So here's the thing. Dazed and Confused is a time machine soundtrack. It doesn't take you back to the literal time of the movie, which was supposed to be 1976. It takes you back to the feeling you were when you were young and restless, on the brink of something happening. We don't know what, but something's happening, changes in the air. That's just, we have Foghat Slow Ride. That alone might qualify it.
Let's go. Absolutely.
Right? Tuesday's Gone, Hurricane by Bob Dylan, kind of a deeper cut.
School's Out for the Summer, Alice Cooper.
Yes, right. And you guys are former teachers. You must really love that one.
That's right.
So this is just something that is more than a soundtrack. When you look at the movie, the songs go along with it. These are just kids, kind of aimlessness turning into freedom, where we have all these songs go perfectly with each scene as these people are finding their own way. And this soundtrack really elucidates that for the audience. It's great. Anything that can really make you feel like you're in a sense of time and place. And this is particularly for me, you feel like your youth. It actually came out when I was in high school, even though it's supposed to be 76, it came out in the 90s. So I felt it almost introduced to Gen Xers, I guess, the 70s and that whole cool vibe. And it definitely had an effect. So to this day, I can hear that soundtrack and take me back.
Bran, have you seen Dazed and Confused?
No,
Of
soundtrack
course
looks
not.
great though.
Listen, first of all, Richard Linklater movies could be a soundtrack list. Like,
Whoa.
I mean, Boyhood, he did the Before Sunrise movies. He did School of Rock, I believe. I mean, like, Richard Linklater movies are kind of known for the needle drops. I mean, like, they are known for having pitch perfect soundtracks to go with the scene. And no movie that he's made is more synonymous with that, in my opinion, than Dazed and Confused. So many perfect moments in that movie that are amplified by the music. This is a top 5 soundtrack, and you nailed it, Chad.
It's
Nailed
top 5 because it's on his top 5. How
That's
about
right.
that? We have 4 left. Doggy Don't Go Home, still not on the list.
And what about Doggy Go Home? Because I don't
Doggy
know
Go
about
Home.
Doggy Don't Go Home.
I know.
Doggy Go Home, is that the
misspoke.
sequel?
It is.
Doggy Don't Go Home.
I
Wow.
think they
So
could
he
both
went
be on the
home and
list.
they're
We'll
like,
find
that's a
out. He has
mistake.
4 left. Number 4, Chad. What do we have?
Number 4, we have a curated mixtape from the coolest, weirdest friend we all want, Quentin Tarantino. Pulp Fiction, ladies and gentlemen. Pulp Fiction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Has to be.
It has to. It kicks off with Dick Dale's Miser Lose. So we're talking little band there, like surf guitar getting you into it. Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon. Son of a Preacher Man. This changed how movies are made. The songs are actually like, it's almost like part, again, an extra character.
Yeah.
And when you're listening, watching this movie and you hear the songs, there's nothing going on except the present moment. That's it. So it really puts you in a set time frame because the next scene has a totally different sonic character. So you really are in that moment itself. So I couldn't not have this on. When you think about the dancing, John Travolta and Uma Thurman, that's all about Teenage Wedding is that song?
Man.
Classic as it gets.
Bran, have you seen Pulp Fiction?
No, but soundtrack's great.
Of course.
Yes.
We put this picture on the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, I could hear the picture. I could literally hear the picture. Guys, I'm not the biggest Quentin Tarantino fan of his oeuvre that you will find. Pulp Fiction is an absolute masterpiece. And you've got stuff, you know, it really runs the gamut because you've got like Chuck Berry and Al Green on here. Like the way he uses music in all of his movies is very distinct. But Pulp Fiction is it. You're now running in stride now, Chad. You've really caught it, and you get where we're going.
He got the
now.
Christmas vacation out of his system.
Wait a minute.
And he said,
there we go.
Now it's time. Now it's time to play by Dan's rules.
I love it.
That's right.
Those,
That's
absolutely, both of those would be top 5 for me, 100%.
All right, 2 for 2 in the top 5, Chad. That's pretty good. Let's see what we can do for number 3.
Nowhere to go but down from here, gentlemen. Okay, so number 3, this is America's Mixtape. This is the film's second narrator as the soundtrack. We have Forrest Gump, everyone. Forrest Gump. What a soundtrack.
What a soundtrack indeed. Yes.
Hendrix is All Along the Watchtower. I mean, mic drop right there. Blowing in the Wind. This is Robinson. But it's not just the songs. Because again, it's not do I collectively like the soundtrack or do I like the individual songs. This is the film's second narrator. As I said, when you're watching the scenes and the movie, they are inextricable. They don't work without each other. It's amazing. And it really does give you a sense of Americana, where we stood in pop culture and music for each scene. Brilliant movie, brilliant soundtrack, brilliant the way it was all put together. I think we're all agreeing on that one.
Brandon, have you seen Forrest Gump?
I've not, but it's a great soundtrack.
What? Brandon, you've seen one of these movies, Christmas Vacation. Yes?
Yeah.
Man.
Wow. Just one so far.
I
see a new podcast coming up. Bran watches a movie.
Yeah.
I will say,
I got too many homework movies.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of the film Forrest Gump. This was when I was a teenager and everyone was raving about this movie. And by the time I saw it, it felt very schmaltzy and maudlin, and it didn't feel the way.
Maudlin.
I know. It didn't feel the way. I know that's the worst. When you hear maudlin, you're like, oh no.
Oh, no.
It didn't do for me what I think it was supposed to do. And I just never could get on board, even with the Hanks accent of it all. Like, it just didn't work for me. But boy, does this soundtrack work.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't love the movie so much as the soundtrack.
You're 100%
is just a great
right.
one.
The movie transitions and moves you along with music. That's what it does. And I mean, we're talking, the Four Tops making it, it's overwhelming. Aretha Franklin, Elvis Presley. Okay. I mean, that is, we are really doing something with this soundtrack. This soundtrack is undeniable. It is an undeniable force, and it doesn't matter if I like the movie or not. It's undeniable in what it does.
Force.
And it does it
force.
Amazing. Even if the movie is
Nice,
maudlin.
Brad.
Would you agree that life's like a box of chocolate?
No.
Okay.
Dan, can I ask? I have a question for Brand. Brand, what do you like least? When Dan said oeuvre or Dan says maudlin? Which one do you like least? Because he reacted to both viscerally.
Oeuvre, it grosses me out. I find it.
What do you think I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. The word just makes me feel icky. That's just me. Number 2.
It's fun to watch you guys.
Thank you.
Than just listening, because you
man.
see a lot more going on. It's a multidimensional. Okay, number 2 we're at right now. Now, this, I don't care if anyone doesn't like the soundtrack. This movie is absolutely amazing, possibly the best movie of all time.
Okay.
And we're not talking Up on the Rooftop Gun either, gentlemen. We're talking a serious movie here. So, Goodfellas.
Heck yeah, Chad. We're rolling now, Chad. Go ahead.
So that's it. Okay, so this is it. So the movie itself, of course, is about Henry Hill. It shadows the rise and fall of Henry Hill. The soundtrack itself is so brilliant because it lulls you into this sense of complacency, right? You become complicit on these horrible acts that are going on while there's these just poppy bangers. So you're going, yeah, this is really great. Layla's playing, and meanwhile, someone's getting an ice pick to the back of their head. And you're like, wait, I'm cheering along and I'm watching this horrible act. So there's this cognitive dissonance going on while you're enjoying the movie. And it's just beautiful. They play at one point in this movie, and I recently rewatched it, Layla, the slow, regular version, the electric version. And then later on, when Henry Hill is all drugged up and the scenes are very frenetic, they play a sped up version of Layla. And it's so brilliant the way they do that it goes with the pace. And it's just a perfect movie, perfect soundtrack to it. It's different genres, different generations. And it's beautiful. Go back, watch it, and pay attention to the soundtrack. Your thoughts?
Bran, have you seen Goodfellas?
No, I've not.
In the world?
No. Good soundtrack, though.
Oh, Bran's crushing it. Let me tell you this.
I'm just here for my good looks today, guys.
I will say this, like,
it's working.
When we grade movies, I tend to grade not only on if they did what they were supposed to do, but also how tough it was to do that. I think there are movies that have been more difficult and climbed a higher a ladder than Goodfellas, but Goodfellas is a perfect movie. Like, make no mistake, it's a perfect movie. It is unbelievable for all the reasons Chad said. Look, Martin Scorsese and what he does with music is unbelievable. This soundtrack, Tony Bennett, Bobby Darin, Muddy Waters on this soundtrack. This soundtrack rules. The only thing I would say is I almost would give the nod to when he did it first, and that was Mean Streets. Mean Streets had this thing about it with these gangsters going around while we're hearing the Rolling Stones that was just so incredibly like the dissonance, and yet it brings you into the world and makes you feel like you're a gangster and that's okay kind of thing. And I feel like Mean Streets did it first. That is my literal only caveat here, but Goodfellas does it better. And Goodfellas is, Scorsese's made a bunch of amazing, amazing movies. I would love to do a diss list of his top 10 movies. That would be fun. Goodfellas, you could argue, is his best movie and a perfect movie. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Great choice. Would have this in my top 5 as well. You're crushing it, Chad. And you know how I know that they're good? Brand hasn't seen any of them. Yeah, that's how I know.
You've got to watch that, Brand. You've got now Mean Streets. I've never seen it, but I love the soundtrack.
The problem is
Mean Street's
I
a good
didn't
movie.
start watching movies until 2010.
Okay,
That is by and large accurate. If it's before 2010, there's a chance I haven't seen it.
This list doesn't include anything
Yeah.
from since then.
Yeah.
So
Well, Brand, you're going to love number one's Christmas in Evergreen. It's the
that's
soundtrack to Christmas
fantastic.
in Evergreen.
It's all
Yes.
public domain. I love it. We can play the whole thing right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's,
Are we ready for number 1? You want me to
we are.
recap it?
Yeah, let's recap it really quick.
recap.
Number 10, Fast Times. Number 9, Private Parts. Number 8, Saturday Night Fever. Number 7, Grease. Number 6, It's Christmas Vacation. Number 5, Dazed and Confused. Number 4, Pulp Fiction. Number 3, Forrest Gump. Number 2, Goodfellas. And number 1, the greatest soundtrack of all time is what?
Hit me, Chad.
Now, we've had some bangers, but this one is what I'm calling a perfect soundtrack. I'm setting the bar high, and I'm still going to exceed it. And if you haven't seen this movie, go back, watch it, listen to the soundtrack. It's amazing. This is a true ultimate love letter to music. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Cameron Crowe's Almost Famous.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Amazing.
What a pull, Chad. It's
pretty good.
I mean, it started off shaky. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
But
I
man,
did
you
that
really
on
redeemed
purpose.
yourself. What do you got for me, Chad? Tell me all about it.
All right. So Almost Famous is just, it's a coming of age movie, of course, like many of these are. It's about identity. It's about art. It's about belonging. So every single song on here is like the diary entry of the kid who's watching the movie, right? So it has Tiny Dancer by Elton John. And that's just iconic.
Oh,
that's one of the best scenes,
Best
right?
scenes in movie history. One of them. It's up there.
It really is, right? The way they're all sad and then
They
there's an
hate
emotional
each
turn in
other.
the arc.
When it-
Yes.
Have you seen this movie?
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, I
movie.
thought so.
It's a great soundtrack.
You've got to see this scene, Brand.
Okay.
The whole band is mad at each other. They're pissed. They get on the bus to keep moving. They're all pissed. They don't want to talk.
Sure.
The song comes on, and by the chorus, they're all just gang vocals, and it is beautiful.
I like
it's
that.
so great.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It is. And you as the audience, you're so uncomfortable because I think this is right after they almost crash in a plane. So they all start saying to each other, I hate you. You did all this stuff. Then the after effect is them sitting on a bus and they hate each other. And you're uncomfortable as the audience member. Tiny Dancer comes on. You feel relief. They feel relief. The music is perfect. The movie is perfect. So this is, every song in it is great on its own. The soundtrack is great collectively, and it fits perfectly with the music, with the movie itself. This is the heartbeat of rock and roll. I mean, it's just amazing. It's perfect. You don't have to say too much about this other than the fact that it is absolutely perfect.
Brand, we got to watch Almost Famous.
Okay.
Yes.
I think you would love
Maybe
that
I'll watch it
movie.
tonight.
I think you would love that movie. When I think of coming of age movies, this is, if not the first movie, it's one of the first movies I think of. The soundtrack is perfect. The acting is perfect across the board. If this wasn't on this list, we were going to have a problem. I know that somewhere Alonzo Duralde is thinking we don't have enough movies from before 1975 on this list. This is kind of inarguable, and Brand needs to watch this movie. And I think, Brand loves movies, but he likes to go to the movie theater, which makes it tough to catch up on the old boys. You know what I mean?
Makes it hard to catch up on the old boys. We got a lot. We got our work cut out for us.
We got a lot to do here,
Can
Brand.
I ask you, Dan?
I'm going to make one change.
I think
Go
ahead.
Are you with me?
I think so. I think we're thinking the same thing.
So normally we get 2 that we can take out and put 2 in instead of, and then we can switch 2. We're going to add a third. We get to both replace Grease. And the reason I think we should get to do that is that makes this a non-musical list, and it gives us the ability to have a musical list. So we get to do 3 replaces. One of them has to be
That's
Grease.
Will you grant us that?
Is that all right with you, Chad?
Yes, I'm so glad I didn't include My Fair Lady because that's number
that
11.
would have been
really
tough.
embarrassing.
Rain in Spain. And
Let's take a break, Dan. We'll come back.
I love
we
it.
will get to our list here on
The
the
Diss
Diss
List.
List. Brandon. Yeah.
Oh,
Hi,
boy.
everybody. Welcome back to the Diss List.
Getting real.
Movie soundtracks.
Getting real.
Dan, give us the breakdown really quick. Remind the people at home what we have, what we're working with here.
So it's christmascousinspod@gmail.com.
That's right.
That was
I think.
that's one, I believe.
Yes.
And then 2, Chad brought us his list of best soundtracks of all time. And that is number 10, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Number 9, Private Parts. Number 8, Saturday Night Fever. Number 7, Grease. Number 6, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Number 5, Dazed and Confused. Number 4, Pulp Fiction. Number 3, Forrest Gump. Number 2, Goodfellas. And number 1, Almost Famous.
All right.
Now, you and I are going to get to tinker with this list. We get to take out Grease plus 2 others.
Yes.
Put 3 in that we like. And then we get to flip them up. We get to do 2 switcheroos.
Yeah, Dan, I'm going to let you take it away first.
Okay, I can do that. So Chad, I had a lot to think on here. Some movies that I thought deserved consideration that didn't end up making my list. Top Gun. You have Danger Zone. You have Take My Breath Away. You also have a song by Cheap Trick on there I really like. Pretty iconic soundtrack that is as much a part of that movie as anything other than Kilmer and Cruz. I really love that movie. Another one that actually did cross my mind and was a huge deal is a movie called Hustle and Flow with Terrence Howard and the soundtrack by 3 6 Mafia, including a song called It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp, which was an amazingly great song for an indie movie that changed the game. Didn't quite make my list. Gutting, but didn't make my list. Clueless, a film that is quintessentially 90s and includes Kids in America, Counting Crows, Radiohead, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, Coolio, like an absolute like banger of a list. So all of those didn't make my list. Oh, this is Spinal Tap, which I determined was a musical because they sing the songs, and that would have definitely been on my list. And then also, I believe didn't make my list. I want to make sure I get this right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Also didn't make my list. Black Panther, Kendrick Lamar's soundtrack, also amazing. All of those were very close for me. Didn't make my list. Here are the 3 that I added. I added a movie that I think is a top 4 soundtrack of all time. Wow. And needs to be on this list. It is Mike Nichols' The Graduate. This movie is like the quintessential existential crisis movie. I remember in a film class, one of my film teachers just went, we have to watch The Graduate first. And I'm like, The Graduate first? This movie has this weird way in a very interesting set of circumstances of appealing to everyone and utilizing Simon and Garfunkel that are making beautiful music while they hate each other to showcase the existential crisis on screen is poetry in motion. Scarborough Fair, Sound of Silence, Mrs. Robinson. This soundtrack is it. It is absolutely required for this list, in my opinion. I put it on this list. What did I take off in favor of it? I took off Grease, put it in, and then I switched The Graduate up to 4 and moved moved Pulp Fiction down to 7. That was tough. Pulp Fiction's great. Graduate, in my opinion, is iconic. I left your top 3 alone. I think they're perfect. Don't change a thing. So that was my first one. I replaced Grease. I put in The Graduate. I moved it up to 4. Pulp Fiction down to 7. The next movie on my list, Remember the Titans. Now, my initial thought was Guardians of the Galaxy. That was what I wanted to put on this list. But what I realized is, aside from Hooked on a Feeling, which is a great needle drop in that film to showcase how Star-Lord grew up, the songs that are used to great extent in that film were first used in Remember the Titans and in better use, in my opinion. Remember the Titans is a great soundtrack. A great soundtrack start to finish. I think it's an amazing, a lot happening there. I think you can't think of that movie without thinking about the music of it. And I think it's just has to be on this list. And so I put it in there and I took out Fast Times at Ridgemont High because I think Dazed and Confused holds that spot. And then I switched it with Christmas Vacation. So Chad, I kept Christmas Vacation on your list. I just moved it to 10. I moved it to 10 and I said, if it's got to be there, let's put it at 10. Let's get Remember the Titans up. And then next, this is a very, very important soundtrack that I think deserves this shout out. I did replace Private Parts off this list. It was an easy replace for me because I had not seen it and knew the least about it of any of these movies. I've seen the rest of these movies. I put the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack on this list, an animated film. They were making for the first time the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man. This movie, starring a superhero that's a person of color, is so incredibly important for so many kids who were going to get to watch someone that looked like them be a superhero for the first time. And the soundtrack had to be cool. It had to be what kids wanted to hear. And boy, do they deliver in this movie. It is it's overwhelming what they bring to the table into the Spider-Verse. Shabuzi, Lil Wayne, so many others. They made a soundtrack that was somehow cooler than the movie, and the movie is an amazing piece of entertainment.
They're all original tracks too for the movie.
All
really?
original tracks. Yeah, Way Up, all of them. What's Up, Danger. Also, you have
Sunflower.
You have the most on this soundtrack. You have the most downloaded song, listened to song in the history of music on Spotify.
That's true.
Really?
Post Malone's
Gangnam
Sunflower.
Style?
No, Gangnam Style, yeah. Post Malone, and I could be wrong with that, but I heard that a month ago that Sunflower by Post Malone just became the most listened to song on Spotify. So they had to knock it out of the park. The degree of difficulty was through the roof, and they put a soundtrack together of who's who of hip hop along with the most listened to song on Spotify. It's an absolute winner. That is on my list at 9. So my list: 10 Christmas Vacation, 9 Into the Spider-Verse, 8 Saturday Night Fever, 7 Pulp Fiction, 6 Remember the Titans, 5 Dazed and Confused, 4 The Graduate, 3 Forrest Gump, 2 Goodfellas, 1 Almost Famous.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Do you want me to comment on this now, or do I wait to hear from Brad?
You can comment now.
Comment on it.
So that's interesting. First of all, The Graduate, great call. Like that a lot. The problem, I've never seen Remember the Titans. I saw Spider-Verse once. What's interesting to me is that if you play the soundtrack to the Spider-Man one, no, I don't know many people are going to know, oh, that's from this movie. In other words, so it's a great soundtrack. Maybe they will, maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm speaking from my experience. I wouldn't know. Same with Remember the Titans. Whereas if you play Mrs. Robinson, it's inextricably linked to The Graduate, and these might not. So although they might be great soundtracks or great movies, top 10 to me has to have something of a higher bar where it's become part of the cultural zeitgeist.
I would buy that for Remember the Titans. I would not buy that. Into the Spider-Verse is 100% when you hear those songs. I mean, if you're of a generation lower than me, you know that it is from Into the Spider-Verse.
Makes sense if it's the number 1 song on Spotify.
Yeah, I mean,
I just give out my email. I don't have Spotify.
Apparently that changes all the time, but as of a month ago, it sits at just under 4 billion downloads for that one song.
Wow.
And the music video is Into the Spider-Verse music.
So not quite to the number of listeners that Christmas Cousins has,
but who can? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Yes. True. Yes. Thank you. I will get the 8-track of the Spider-Verse, and
that's the way to do it. That's in its purest form. The 8-track.
Email me if you've seen that or heard the 8-track at christmascousinspod@gmail.com.
Please email. I don't really know what I'm doing here, to be honest with you. I am just going to randomly...
General or just for this list?
It's a both and. Okay. I'm not going to touch your top 4 because they're your top 4 for a reason, and I respect you as a person.
Yeah.
Here is what I am going to add to it. I'm going to add 3 soundtracks. One of them is a soundtrack that... I don't know if you've seen the movie or not, but when you watch this movie, it so much revolves around the music because the character is listening to the music in his headphones while he does the thing that he's doing. And this soundtrack has so many songs that I was not familiar with, and now listen to this soundtrack all the time because the music's so good. The movie is Baby Driver.
That's a great
Have you
pick.
seen Baby Driver?
I've seen Alonzo Duralde, but Baby Driver, I haven't.
So
Speaking of which, Alonzo Duralde doesn't like Baby Driver. He's just wrong on that one. But it's a great pick, Brand.
Thank you. I love the soundtrack, and I love how much it adds to, like, it is. You talked about basically another character. That is absolutely the case in Baby Driver. The music is so important to that movie.
All of the actions in the movie go to the beat of the soundtrack.
Really? I've never even heard of this movie.
Yeah, it's
let alone seen it.
You need to check it out.
But Alonzo doesn't like it.
We have Alonzo here.
No,
I know he's for another show, but
they won't be able to hear him.
They won't be able to hear him.
Oh, okay. What an apropos guest to pop on during this discussion. He's already shaking his head.
I am also going to include a movie for one song and one song only. It's Highway to the Danger Zone. I'm adding Top Gun to this list.
Oh my God.
That song is a banger. And also there are a couple of other songs that you just associate with Top Gun. Alonzo, could you mute yourself, buddy?
Yeah. Mute yourself.
No, don't. Keep talking. I like the bleed through. He said,
Thank
these idiots don't know what they're talking about with movies. That's all I heard coming
I
through.
love it.
There's also a couple of other songs, Great Ball of Fire, I think about Top Gun. The
Take my breath away. Every time you see
I think
those,
about
they play that song all movie long.
That is Top Gun, and so I'm adding that to the list. And then I'm selfishly adding the soundtrack to 500 Days of Summer on this list because some of my favorite movies of all time, and I think about Hall and Oates, You Make My Dreams Come True with that movie and so many other songs. And so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to get rid of Fast Times. I'm going to put in 500 Days of Summer at 10 and then flip it with Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
moving Christmas Vacation at 10. I'm going to do a clean replace at 9 with Baby Driver over Private Parts. I am going to flip Dazed and Confused, move that down to 8 and move Saturday Night Fever because I love disco to 5. Top Gun, clean replace of Grease. 500 Days of Summer, I already explained it, but it's now at number 6. And then 4 through 1 is the exact same as yours. That's my list. And I don't know if you've seen any 3 of the movies that I just mentioned.
Seen them. I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
But no, Top Gun, I actually have never seen it, but I have heard it. I've never seen it. Yeah. Here it's a great soundtrack, though.
Yeah.
So
But
this is tough. We're in a tough boat
Tough
here.
spot. Yeah.
So I have to choose which of your 2 lists that I prefer. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Bran, I loved your top 4. That was perfect.
You. I didn't. Yeah, thank you. I thought you might like that.
I kept your top 3. I just put The Graduate in there at 4 because I think you would even admit, Chad, that is an all-time soundtrack.
Who doesn't like Simon and Garfunkel?
Yeah.
Bit of a stumble not having it originally on there. I agree. That's a banger. That is a soundtrack when you think of it, for sure. Between the 2, so Bran, I don't know these movies. I've never heard of
how I feel.
Right, exactly. So now the shoe has swapped feet, I guess would be the saying. That's a saying I just made up. So, which should be more in use. Anyway, as far as those, I don't know these movies, so it can't be anywhere near my top 10 list, although it sounds like some good ones. And I do. There was one song you said that was great, and I forget what it was already. So between the 2, do you 2 have a running list of whose list wins?
Yeah.
Dan's won almost all.
I win almost always.
Which I think you're going to pick him because of The Graduate. You've seen it, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I think Dan's going to keep his streak going. Dan, I do pick your list, although I love you. Bran, I have a lot of now watching to do thanks to your list, so I'm going to give you that. But no, it's that edition of The Graduate is so perfect, and the fact that I left that off, that alone actually made my list better. I don't know, Remember the Titans, the Spider-Verse. I'm sure it's great, but I don't know enough about it to comment, but I can see this list very good. Bran, you just threw some in that I don't know what they are. So I can't go with that. So Dan, you've got my choice on this one, but I love you both dearly.
We love you. One more time, Chad, Christmas Cousins podcast with Christmas Cousin Pod at gmail.com.
Yeah, email him.
Email him and he'll give you the link to his show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Chad, we love you so much and we're so happy that you joined us this week.
Thank you, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. A lot of fun.
Until next time, keep this and keep listening.